The Tragic Journey of Venus and Serena Williams, a story of triumph and loss. Serena and Venus Williams are celebrated as two of the most successful sisters in sports history, having secured an astounding 30 Grand Slam singles titles and 14 Grand Slam doubles titles between them. However, their journey to the pinnacle of tennis has been far from smooth. Despite their numerous victories on the court, they have faced personal tragedies and challenges that have left indelible scars on their lives. This is the heartbreaking, real-life story of the Williams sisters. Growing up on a tough tennis court. Venus and Serena Williams' path to tennis stardom is a testament to resilience and determination, deeply influenced by their unique upbringing. Their father, Richard Williams, recognized their potential early on and, despite having no formal training, decided to teach himself tennis by watching instructional videos. He then passed on this knowledge to his young daughters, Venus and Serena, who trained on the public courts of Compton, California, a neighborhood notorious for gang violence. Their training conditions were far from ideal. The tennis courts where they practiced were often littered with drug paraphernalia, and the sound of gunfire was a frequent and unsettling backdrop. Yet, the family was driven by a vision of greatness, undeterred by the dangers that surrounded them. Their relentless dedication paid off, leading to extraordinary success. Richard Williams was later inducted into the American Tennis Association Hall of Fame and the Black Tennis Hall of Fame, while Venus and Serena have etched their names as legends in the sport. However, the harsh realities of their early environment have left a lasting impact. The memories of their difficult beginnings remain a poignant part of their story, underscoring their remarkable journey from Compton to global acclaim. Witnessing gun violence. The sisters' formative years were marked by harrowing experiences of violence. Growing up in Compton, they were exposed to gunfire and gang activity from a young age. Venus recalled a particularly terrifying incident during a 2017 event where she described a drive-by shooting they witnessed while practicing. "I remember one afternoon there was a drive-by and we hit the ground. A guy got out of the sunroof and started shooting, and we went back to practice," Venus shared. At the time, Venus and Serena were too young to grasp the full gravity of what they had witnessed. Their mother, Oracene Price, was deeply upset when they recounted the incident to her. "My mom was just so upset, but unfortunately sometimes as a young person, you can get used to that, and no one should have to get used to that," Venus reflected. The violence around them became so normalized that the sisters developed an instinctive response to drop to the ground at the sound of any potential gunfire, a coping mechanism born out of necessity. Confronting racial abuse. In 2001, Venus and Serena were set to face each other in the semifinals of the Indian Wells tournament. However, just minutes before the match, Venus withdrew due to tendinitis in her knee, leading to an uproar among the crowd. The fans, questioning the integrity of the Williams family, erupted into a frenzy of boos and racial insults. Richard Williams, their father, recalled the vitriol he faced during the event. "Fans in the stands called me the N-word. One person even said, 'I wish it was 75. We'd skin you alive.' That's when I stopped and considered confronting them, but I realized the best course of action was to remain nonviolent. It was incredibly difficult to hold back my tears," he shared with USA Today. The incident left deep emotional wounds on the family, affecting them for years to come. In a 2015 article for Time magazine, Serena reflected on the ordeal, stating, "It haunted me for a long time. It haunted Venus and our family as well, but most of all, it angered and saddened my father." Despite the painful memories associated with Indian Wells, Serena's decision to return to the tournament in 2015 was a powerful testament to her resilience and courage. Battling racism in sports Venus and Serena's meteoric rise in tennis was groundbreaking, not just for their skills, but also for their role as African-American pioneers in a predominantly white sport. In 2000, Venus made history as the first African-American woman to win Wimbledon since Althea Gibson in 1957 and 1958. yet their journey was marred by racism. One of the most egregious incidents occurred outside the tennis arena in 2018 when three amateur Australian football players wore blackface to mock the sisters and Sudanese-Australian footballer Aliir Aliir. The offensive photo was posted on Facebook but was quickly removed after public outcry. Although the players and their club issued apologies, the damage had been done, leaving a lasting stain on the public record. Serena's struggle to step out of Venus's shadow. Despite her exceptional achievements, Serena has often been seen in comparison to her sister Venus. Early in their careers, Venus was the trailblazer and Serena followed closely behind. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Serena admitted that she spent much of her early life trying to be like Venus, even mimicking her older sister's meal choices at restaurants. "It was tough for me to stop being Venus and become the person I am. It wasn't until I turned 21 that I fully embraced my own identity," she reflected. Finding her own path and stepping out of her sister's shadow was a significant turning point for Serena, allowing her to become the iconic athlete she is today. The devastating postpartum experience. In 2017, Serena competed in the Australian Open while 8 weeks pregnant and won, defeating Venus in the final. However, her journey into motherhood was fraught with complications. After delivering her daughter via emergency C-section due to a sudden drop in the baby's heart rate, Serena experienced severe shortness of breath caused by blood clots in her lungs. Her recovery was further complicated when her C-section wound reopened due to intense coughing, revealing a large hematoma in her abdomen. Serena had to undergo another surgery and have a filter inserted into her vein to prevent further complications. Despite these challenges, she embraced her new role as a mother with immense joy. "I remember the first day she came and slept with me. It was just the most amazing feeling ever," Serena shared with People magazine. Fighting gender double standards. During the 2018 U.S. Open, Serena was involved in a highly publicized altercation with umpire Carlos Ramos, who accused her of receiving illegal coaching signals. Frustrated, Serena broke her racket and called Ramos a thief, resulting in penalties that many saw as disproportionate compared to male players' treatment in similar situations. Serena used this experience to highlight gender bias in sports, writing in a powerful open letter that women are often labeled as emotional, hysterical, or aggressive, while men face fewer repercussions for the same behaviors. These stereotypes create significant barriers for women every day, and we must continue to challenge and dismantle these unfair behaviors to achieve genuine progress, she wrote in Fortune magazine. The lesser-known Williams sisters. While Venus and Serena are the most well-known of their siblings, they have 3 older sisters, Yatunde, Isha, and Lindria Price, who have played a significant role in their success. Raised by their mother, Oracene Price, the family remained close-knit and supportive. The Price sisters, though less visible, were instrumental in Venus and Serena's early training and provided emotional and logistical support throughout their careers. The tragic death of Yatunde Price. One of the most heartbreaking chapters in the Williams family's story is the tragic death of their half-sister, Yatunde Price, in 2003. She was shot and killed in Compton, California, while sitting in a car with her boyfriend, Roland Wormley. The incident deeply affected the family, and Serena has often spoken about the difficulty of coping with the loss. "I haven't really coped yet. I'm trying to figure out how to cope with it, but not a day goes by when I don't think of it," she told The Guardian in 2005. During a discussion about the film King Richard, which portrays their father's role in their upbringing, Serena shared how seeing her late sister depicted on screen brought back overwhelming emotions. "I think I cried the whole time. I mean, even still, it's hard to talk about," she said. A painful loss and a struggle for justice. Yatunde's boyfriend, Roland Wormley, recalled the tragic night in an interview with Page Six. He described how they were driving through Compton when gunfire erupted. Despite his efforts to get Yatunde help, she succumbed to her injuries. Wormley was later exonerated, but the incident left deep scars on him and the entire Williams family. The man responsible for Yatunde's death, Robert Maxfield, was sentenced to 15 years in prison but was released on parole in 2018 after serving 12 years. Serena expressed her anguish over his early release, telling Time magazine, "No matter what, my sister is not coming back. It's unfair that she'll never have an opportunity to hug me." The legacy of the Williams sisters. Despite the tragedies and challenges they have faced, Venus and Serena Williams continue to inspire millions around the world with their incredible achievements and resilience. They have not only redefined the sport of tennis, but have also become powerful advocates for gender and racial equality. The Williams sisters' journey is a story of triumph over adversity, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Their legacy extends beyond their numerous titles and records, embodying the power of perseverance, family, and unbreakable love in the face of unimaginable pain. According to SB Nation, Venus and Serena Williams hold more than 100 singles titles between them, including 23 Grand Slam singles titles for Serena and 7 for Venus. That makes them two of the greatest tennis players of all time, if not the very best. But the road to the top hasn't always been paved with winning moments. From a fatal car accident to on-court outbursts to allegations of cheating, there's more to these superstar sisters than meets the eye. And that's not even saying anything about their father, Richard Williams, whose own shady backstory is darkly linked to his daughter's success. Intrigued? You should be, because even though Venus and Serena are still two of the top competitors in their sport, as of this writing, there have been plenty of times that their behavior knocked them down in the ranks of public opinion. This is the shady side of the Williams sisters. In June 2017, Venus Williams was involved in a tragic car accident in Palm Beach Gardens, FLA, that led to the death of 78-year-old Jerome Barson. According to TMZ, Williams was accused by Barson's wife, who was driving at the time of the accident, of speeding into an intersection after blowing a red light, causing Barson's Hyundai Accent sedan to T-bone Williams' 2010 Toyota Sequoia SUV. Barson's estate sued Williams for wrongful death. According to the Palm Beach Post, Williams' legal team alleged that the light was green when Williams entered the intersection. But when another driver made a left turn in front of Williams, the tennis star was forced to stop and wait. By the time Williams was able to continue traveling through the intersection, the green light had changed to red. Williams' team also claimed Barson died because he was not wearing his seatbelt. Police originally said Williams was at fault, but rescinded that statement after reviewing video footage of the accident, reported NPR. Authorities later determined that no one was to blame for the fatal crash. At the time of this writing, the civil suit was ongoing as the Barsons' legal team battled to obtain Williams' cell phone records to determine if she was using her phone at the time of the accident. Beyond the allegations of match fixing, Richard has long been a contentious figure in the sport of tennis. According to the New York Times, his decision to train Serena and Venus to become tennis stars was driven primarily by money. He saw a female tennis player earn more than $40,000 for 4 days' work in the 1980s. He began coaching his kids on courts in the rough neighborhood of Compton, where his arguably harsh methods included hanging signs around the court that read things like, "Venus, when you fail alone." He told CNN that his training methods were so severe that gang members tried to intervene. As his daughters rose through the ranks of women's tennis, Richard's larger-than-life personality continued to court controversy. In 1999, as the sisters competed in their first major final match against one another, he held up a whiteboard that read, "Welcome to the Williams Show," reported the New York Times. Around that time, he also boasted that he was considering buying Rockefeller Center. Though his courtside antics appear to have settled down in recent years, Richard's personal life continues to make the news. He divorced Serena and Venus's mother, Oracene Price, in 2002. In June 2017, his estranged wife of 7 years, Lakeisha Juanita Williams, allegedly removed an arsenal of firearms, including an AK-47, from their house amid fears that Richard might harm their 5-year-old son, reported TMZ. Serena Williams' temper has also triggered embarrassing headlines and record-breaking fines. In November 2009, she was fined a then unheard-of $82,500 and risked being suspended from the U.S. Open after she went nuts on a lineswoman over a foot fault call that led to match point for rival Kim Clijsters at the tournament.